Yesterday, I picked a whole bunch of long beans. I'd been away for a while and they had gotten just too fat. And so I didn't want to eat them like this because they're just not very good when they're like this. And so what I've been doing is shelling them. Hello again from Central Virginia. Just a little quick, no recipe dinner to use things that are in your garden and things you might have left over in your house. So tonight I'm just going to make a little side dish of some leftover asparagus beans, which I actually shelled, and a few other ingredients that I have here and there. And I'm going to throw it all together and make it as a side dish for my salmon that I'm going to grill tonight. All right, for this non-recipe, I'm going to take my little shelled beans. I have 1 ear of leftover corn. I've got 1 little patty pan squash, a sweet pepper, some tomatoes, a garlic, and some basil. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just boil these little beans for about 15 minutes. While that's happening, I'm going to chop up everything else. All right, so here are my little beans. I'm just going to put them in the water to boil. I will cover them and I will cook them for 15 minutes. Okay, I have everything chopped up. You'll notice that everything is diced fairly small. Here are the red peppers. You can use green peppers or no peppers. Here's a little bit of squash. This is a little patty pan, but you can use any squash or none. Here is some basil chopped up and 1 big garlic clove. I've also diced up the tomatoes here. I just want a little extra snazz on this, so I'm going to just toast some almonds. These are just, you don't have to do this. Toast them up. You can also use pine nuts, no nuts, any kind of seed. You can see they're browning quickly. I'm going to throw those on at the very last minute. Okay, here I have just drained the beans and I'm setting them aside for a moment. Meanwhile, in the bottom of a pan, and I am sauteing the garlic for about 30 seconds. Then I'll be adding the squash and the red peppers. I'm just going to saute the diced peppers and squash and garlic together. I'm going to give this about maybe a 3 or 4 minute saute just to soften up these vegetables. You'll notice after about 3 or 4 minutes that the aromas of the peppers and the squash will begin to release. At that point, it's time for the next step. The next step is to put in the beans. I'm just going to saute these for about 1 minute. What you're doing is you're building layers of flavor, as opposed to just dumping everything in all at once. This doesn't take a long time, but it really adds to the complexity of the dish. Add in the corn. Stir it for about 1 minute, or a little less, doesn't really matter. You just want to mix it all up. Now you're going to add the tomatoes in. At this point, you can add salt and pepper to taste, or not if you don't want salt and pepper, or any other spice that you like. Here's some salt, and here is some pepper. It smells really nice. Now we're about ready. I'm going to let this go for about 1 minute. Let those flavors really meld. The tomatoes will soften. The next thing we're going to do just before serving is add in the fresh basil. If you don't have fresh basil, you can use any herb that you like. Dill would be nice, oregano would be nice, or you can use the dried variety. If you're using fresh, put it in only at the last minute. Stir it around, then turn off the heat. To serve, just toss a few of the nuts on top, and there you go. So it's been a busy day, and this is going to be a nice, quick little dinner. Thanks for watching. I hope your garden's growing well. Take care.